Alrighty. Hey everyone, happy Monday run day. Try to fix this camera here. Did not see that. They don't really give you a preview on the YouTube screen. Hopefully that's better. The lights in the back are affecting the camera a little bit this way. There we go. So hopefully that looks decent. Tonight, guys, we're using a different setup here so I can show you parts of the layout that we're working on. And I do apologize. Last week I had to cancel the live stream. So those LEDs are affecting the camera lens. Let's see if I wipe the camera screen or the lens off. Nope, that made it worse. So let's see how this goes. But yeah, guys, I do apologize. Last week I canceled the live stream because we are still under construction up here. Did not get a lot of time this weekend to work on it. I went on vacation. So last week I did tell you guys I'd be working on the layout and got a little bit done, just a little bit, not a whole lot. And I actually completed the yard section of the layout. I also did not take a lot of my models off of here. So this whole platform is a mess. I still have the old wiring just chilling out, dangling down on the layout. So what's up, Uncle Salty? How's it going? Montana, Wyoming. How's it going? I'll get into that in just a second. Your question is very important. Let me actually post that question. How do I pin? There we go. Message pinned. So we'll get into that discussion, Montana and Wyoming, in just a second. That's actually a great question for the live stream. So wait for some more people to come in. We have Gus, Train Man, Henry. Hello. PR Sean, Greg T, Sean's Train Depot. What's up, Sean? But okay, that is a great question. So we got 16 people in here already, and also Chessie is up here trying to get into something. Um, so all right, I do apologize for the lighting. Let's fix this lighting first. So guys, really quick, I did install a new light fixture, which you can't really see. Let's see if I do this the old trick. Nope. All right, let's turn these lights down. So I do apologize for the lighting. It's supposed to help, but I guess LEDs are giving these like streaks right here, like the lightning bolts coming down. So let's see. All right, let's turn it to. Nope, that didn't help. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Let's just go to blue, whatever. We'll go to deep dive. Nope, still not enough. So Goldie White. So, anyways, guys, this is the first live stream with the new light fixture. So it's much brighter up here. I usually have my other light on up by my desk, but tonight we're just kind of winging it. I honestly did not plan on going live tonight because I don't have any trains to run. And I know a lot of you guys like seeing the trains run, but this is a crucial stage of layout building and planning. Also, just getting out of work. I'm still in my work attire. I got my safety glasses on my head right here. My hair is a mess. So I do apologize for that, guys. But this week I do plan on finishing the track layout. There's one piece I'm waiting for in the mail that needs to come in before I do anything else for this back corner, which we'll get into, guys. We'll walk around the whole layout as much as I can. I've got the webcam hooked up to a miniature tripod instead of like the larger tripod, which you guys are usually on this thing right here. So I detached the webcam to that so we can walk around and see things accordingly. So I do apologize for the crudity of this model. If you've ever seen Back to the Future, or this model's not quite to scale. So do apologize for that, guys. Also, you're not thinking third dimensionally or fourth dimensionally. I love hearing that quote in the Back to the Future movies as well. Also, the lights are changing between different colors. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Thank you guys for the hearts. What's up, Matt? How's it going? Got ES, Dathan, Mr. Shays, DT Shortline, Dr. Death, Scott. See anything else I missed in here? Train Man, Wicked, what's up? How's it going? So lots of people in here. 25 people. My goodness. So guys, for anyone that's new to the channel, I'm Nick from Nick's Crossing. We're up here in the train room, and this layout here is under construction. It's under crude construction right now. We will get into the areas that I've finished or roughed in because Gargraves is a whole nother beast to work with. Montana, Wyoming posted the question at the top. It says, Nix, what do you think of the Gargraves Phantom Rail? So I'm going to basically unpin the comment. There we go. That is an actual fantastic question because it is a whole new track system. I'm not used to it, guys. So we think of track systems. We think of, let me turn that over. There we go. Those lights are killing me. When we think of track, I usually think of, old tubular stuff that a lot of you guys use. Tubular is like the best track in the whole world. And I'm going to put that out there. For running trains, tubular will run everything, your pre-war, post-war, modern stuff, and it runs great. Other than the fact, the switches, I've always had problems with tubular switches. Now, in the future, I do plan on building a post-war, pre-war layout that will have tubular track. That is definitely going to happen, not in this house, but when I have more space, I will be building a tubular railroad. Now, I love tubular track. I grew up with it. It was awesome. I thought it was just so cool as a kid. It just get that traditional look. Now, the best way I can explain Gargraves is like having a more complicated tubular track system. You still have to deal with track pins, insulator pins, uh, tracks are no like contacts under the track, the Kato track, or even the Williams or Bachman Easy track that's out there. There's no easy way to wire it. So Gargraves is like advanced tubular track. Best way I can explain it. Now, Ross switches, guys, I've had zero problems so far testing and also putting together my Ross switches. Now, what do I mean by that? Is that Ross switches, is there one back here? Yep. So here's a Ross switch right here. This is an older Ross switch. There's no switch controller on here. So this is free floating. The frogs you can hear them clickety clacking around. This one is not the best switch. It needs a little bit of help. It needs to be reattached to one of the mounting brackets. It broke off. I bought this from Trains. It was broken when I got it. So whatever, I might be able to fix it through parts online. But anyways, these switches are extremely reliable. The frogs are great. The little switch controllers are very easy to install. So that worry is completely gone. I thought originally, guys, I'm going to have so many problems with getting these switches to cooperate, installing the switch throw, not switch controllers, the switch throws. For anyone asking, I'm using all manual switch throws on this layout. I think they look so cool. They're very easy to control, and they're very smooth. Really quick, let me mess with the brightness. Let's go to, we're going to go to a darker color here, then also bring up the brightness just a hair. This is almost like the amount of light I had with the old setup. So hopefully this is a little bit better for you guys. That actually looks a lot better on my side of things. You can see the reflection off my screen. Maybe go up a little bit more brightness. Let's see. All right. This is called steampunk. So it's a nice glow color. I actually like that a lot. So I think we're good with this color right here. So the Gargrave stuff, guys, is a learning curve. I've been experimenting with things on how to hook stuff up. I've also been like doing a lot of insulated sections. So as you guys will see, when we get into the yard on this layout, everything is insulated from everything. So the yard is totally separate from my mainline track. Everything will be insulated, blocked out. I'll build a little miniature track map to turn on and off the block sections of track. So that will all be awesome. So see if we have any other comments in here. Nathan Five Chimes just stopping in. Great. That's awesome. We also have, what do you think about the MTH Premier Union Pacific? Oh, God, I haven't even seen that yet. If it's MTH, I'm sure it's going to be pretty awesome. Only enough MTH track to run a circle. So MTH track, guys, the real tracks is awesome. I like it better. The old track I like better than the fast track. But I will say that their Modern track is like a tubular rail compared to the old stuff is solid. So the old solid stuff was great. The tubular stuff is a little iffy. We also have Dathan Poole and Dell Hudson. Dell Hudson stopping in Minnesota for vacation. Awesome. That sounds really cool. Let's see. Any thoughts on Menards track? The only thing with Menards I've heard is that you have to watch the gauging because it is tubular. You have to make sure you don't spread gauge or tighten the gauge of your track by doing like really tight loops and stuff like that. But other than that, I've heard great things about Menards. I know Dave Dia Griffin uses a lot of tubular, and also he's used Menards, and I think a mix of Menards and classic tubular. And he did warn me about that. Like, watch the gauge spread of Menards. But other than that, I think it's good stuff. Use Menards for the trolley line. Yeah, stuff's great. What's up, William? How's it going? So, got any more comments in here? So, anyways, guys, in a moment here, I'm going to spin you all around and show you the yard. Now, the yard is how many different tracks do we have? We have 3 staging tracks. So, what I mean by that, we have a track that comes off of our main line into the siding into our yard tracks. Then it splits off into 3. So, there's one switch, which we'll get into in just a moment as well. I'm going to show you guys everything that's going on, what I plan on doing with this space, and nothing is set on this layout yet. I don't have the underlayment set. I'm using the where's the box? I think I have a box of it. Nope, no, not back here. But I'm using the road bed, the flexible road bed from Woodland Scenics. So we have a lot to talk about. So, but anyways, guys, the track will then come out of the yard, do a switchback, and then back to the engine shed. I did it like that to store more engines in that area. Also, I want enough room to put up a water tower potentially or a coal bank. So I found coal banks on eBay. You can also build them out of like wood sticks. So I might just build one. But I would love to put a water tower on this layout. This layout, this one's higher than the last one I had. This is the same bench work as the existing layout. It's just this one's about, oh god, this one's about 8 inches taller than the last one I had. Lionel Super O, I think it looks cool. I just don't like the. I think there's only a certain amount of radiuses in Super O. I think it looks cool. I know that the roller fiasco. I know you guys will be like, oh, he's going to talk about that. Like, people will say that it splits your rollers. If they arc and stuff, it pits the rollers or puts a ridge in them. It's whatever. I think Super O looks cool. It looks really classic, but I don't think I'd ever run Super O. So, cores in hand. No, this is a birch beer. So it's white birch beer, Appalachian Brewing. So this stuff's great. So yeah, I don't think it's alcoholic. Nope. It could be. Oh, this stuff's great. So it's brewed with a delightful blend of honey. So there we go. It's good stuff. Yeah, it needs alcohol. If I didn't have to go to work tomorrow at 4 a.m., I would be drinking a few. Got at the beer and soda store near our house. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I've heard the pickup rollers take a beating from Super O. If you ask an old timer or people that are very passionate about Super O, they will get super pissed off about that. I will tell you, I had people getting on my case at York, guys, about Super O track. I said one comment on live stream about Super O, and I said, well, I've heard it messes up rollers, and this guy went, oh, it was like, you don't know what you're talking about, Super O track, and you're full of this. And I was like, dude, we're playing with trains here. Like, calm down. Got to calm down a little bit. But I will say that guy was very upset that I dissed Super O track. I think it looks cool. I like the look of it. The plastic ties are really cool. The really thin. I wish there was a way you could modify the center rail so it'd be flat. Like I said, this guy laid it into me about Super O track. So Yes, like he invented, like it was his patent, it was his baby. But I do know there's a train shop, or it's like out of a guy's house in Red Lion. What's it? Red Lion um, train station or something. He sells a lot of Super O track. So, oh, Crown Apple. There you go. Car show guys. Yeah, yeah. It's all about having fun until someone gets offended about Super O track. I should make a shirt that says that. Um, but anyways, guys and gals, we're gonna turn this camera around. I'm gonna show you the yard. Now, excuse me, I have to clean up some things. We had a wasp up here. It's still here. I've been looking for it. We have critters that make their way into the attic periodically. Also move some of this extra track out of the way. And whoever is not familiar with Gargraves, here's a piece of this stuff. Up and close. Ooh. Ooh, ah. There you go. Now, the older Gargraves track, these splines in here on the outside rail, these help keep the profile. These extra rails underneath the ties, these help keep the profile of whatever radius. This is a what, 72? Yeah, it's 072 right here. Actual wooden tie track. You know that grandma's attic smell that these all smell like. But the rail is called Phantom Rail because it disappears. It's still there. It's just the third rail is just blackened, so you get this nice two rail look to this stuff. It doesn't really bother me that I see the third rail, but it does look really, really sharp. Now, the older pieces of Gargraves, like I have a lot of old stock from a collection I bought on trains. Like this piece right here is older. This spline right here, my finger's at, let me hold it up. This here underneath the tie, that's actually made of wood compared to the newer ones. This one is a plastic spline running through all the ties that hold the profile of the 72. So it's something to keep in mind if you guys ever cut this stuff or want to use a tool to cut this stuff. So remember, the older stuff might have a wood spline, so just be careful. The plastic, you can probably just use some cutters and cut right through it. So these are all Gargraves track. But the switches are Ross custom switches, ROSS. They're at York. You can buy their switches all over the internet. Their website's fantastic. Their switches are expensive, so I highly recommend finding some used Ross switches if they're not in, deplorable shape. As you guys know, this model railroad track can get used and abused. Excuse me, I'm having some issues here. But so I do have plastic ties, Gargraves. That was originally going to be on the upper loop that I don't think I have room for right now. Like the space is way too small. But anyways, guys, I'm going to spin you all around. Let's talk about this yard here. And there it is. There's the yard. Woohoo. And to get you guys in a cool spot here, you can check this all out. Nice and stable camera angle here. So here is the yard. Ignore this stuff here. Let me take that out of the way. So what we have is a very basic train yard. So these tracks here, the first track here, this is the longest yard. So this is our longest spline of track that goes all the way down to the wall. I've been testing out the radiuses with this high cube Reading and Northern boxcar, and everything just, it's like butter, guys. It just rolls like butter, and I love the look of this stuff too. Yeah, Matt, this stuff's really sharp. If we go into our switches here, these are the hand-thrown switches. So what I mean by that is that we're not using an electronic switch controller. You actually have to pick this switch control up and just flip it, and it locks in place. And there we go. And let's send a car down here. Let's just test this out. So let me move this diesel out of the way. Let's find, well, we like coal on Nick's Crossing, so let's send a coal hopper down here. so you guys can see how smooth this stuff truly is. So we're gonna send it down this yard track here, just like that. And we switch our track, and it locks in place. And it just wants to keep on rolling forever. This stuff is amazing. Like this track here, if I send it down there, boom. So this stuff, guys, is just super smooth. Granted, these sections of track are new. This switch is new. That section's new, but that switch there is older. Now, when you go to install these switches, it does take a little bit of finesse. You have to dry place everything before you tack down the switch controllers. Now, what I use for the switch controllers to tack them down are actually N scale nails. Um, that was kind of a mistake. I bought the wrong size nails on trainworld.com, but it actually looks super cool. It looks like someone actually railroad spiked the switch controllers down. So if you look at this switch right here, you can kind of see it. I can turn the lights back up. Looks like someone actually took a railroad spike and actually spiked those down. So those N scale nails give you a really, really cool look, especially like right there. So it's kind of like a just an idea that I had to go with more of a modeler's approach. Now, all this track too, it also needs to be weathered. I've got like weather pens that I'd like to use to color the track and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing all of that. But first, I gotta get the track plan done. So this stuff is really smooth. Yeah, this stuff runs really quiet, and then once you put the road bed down, it's even better. I hear it's like super quiet. So this track will be raised up probably about this much here, just by that much with the road bed. It'll all be screwed down to the platform. We're also using, guys, we've got um, this foam now. We're on 1 inch foam, which is awesome because I can do lots of like profiling and such. So it'd be pretty cool. Was it expensive? So Sean, I would say the switches. My friends over at Iron Horse, Troy, gave me a really good deal on the switches for the layout. I think in track so far, and this may sound like a lot, but originally I intended to do two upper loops. So I bought two whole flats of like the flex track. I think I bought 7 or 8 different switches for this layout. What else? The track pins, the insulator pins, the contacts. So here, really quick, I'll show you guys over here. These are your contact pins. So you drop these in between your rails to join them together, and it's a contact wire. I think it's like, God, what is this? 16 gauge or 18 gauge wire right here. And these are your track pins, but they have a wire already attached. So you don't have to solder anything. But I think right now, with this layout, with all the switches and track that I'm planning on doing, I think it was right around $1,200 to redo the layout track wise, which honestly isn't that bad. If you bought these switches new, I would probably be in about $1,000 in switches right now. So if you guys, let's see, new track is awesome. Thank you so much. So basically, if you go with brand new Ross switches, they're usually about $100 a piece, $90 to $100 a piece, brand new. You can find them used on the internet all over the place, like on eBay or trains. I know Ross, I think they run a special at York. They kind of give you a couple bucks off for your orders and such. But you can find these switches everywhere. So yeah, they're expensive, but they are extremely reliable. I've never had any issues at the train club with these when I would run over there, and everything's coming together pretty well. Also, I bought a box of MISC track that had like all these little adapter pieces, like this guy right here, or like this adapter that's like, where is it? Oh, it's before the switch here. Like this type of stuff. Like this piece right here is an adapter piece that someone made. So you get like a box of this all kinds of stuff. And then also it came with these two adapters near the engine shed right back there. So, you get what you pay for. I always recommend looking for used stuff. There's another adapter right here that I bought in a misc pile of track. It's like a slight curve. So it's pretty cool. Um, and I forgot to mention that the shed, um, the shed is a two bay shed. What I plan on doing with this, actually, putting the doors on it once it's assembled. I'm going to paint the shed so it'll be weathered and it'll look apart. We're also going to add an interior in the shed. So I'll get into that in just a second here. 42 S gauge choice switches, unless you find older switches. Wow. Yeah, it's all tubular track. It's great stuff. And it's really, really quiet. So for fastening to the platform, we'll get in that in just a second. Someone said a comment in here. Oh, someone said, why not use Gargrave switches? So heard it from members out there. That's why I went with Ross. Gargrave switches look a little bit more like old school tubular style. I wasn't a huge fan of their frogs, so I've heard like Ross is the way to go. Uh, let's see, Nathan Five. I'm not sure what number switches these are actually. I just kind of found them and was like, hey, let's. These look cool. Let's work with these. So that's what I decided to do with that. Let's see. Where's the mounting hardware? All right, so the mounting hardware is all the way back in the corner. Yeah, I'm not sure what number switches these are at all, to be honest with you guys. So we're not even done, guys. We still have to go through the other side of the layout, what I plan on doing here. So really quick, Sean, I picked up these GRK screws right here. They're 2-inch screws, which is gonna be awesome. Well, it's 2.5-inch screw. Now, the reason why I need 2.5 is it's got to go through the track, through the 1-inch foam, and it's actually got to go through the road bed. So the road bed's another, what, 1/4 inch almost. So we got to go through the road bed, or through the track, through the road bed, through the foam to the platform. So that's why I chose these larger screws. And these are pretty tiny head screws. So look at that. And they have the hex head or star pattern. So it gives you the bit to use in there. And what I plan on doing is pre-drilling the holes. So look at this. So if you match it up, it should be perfect. So I'll pre-drill my track, send these screws down, and then I'll paint the head of the screw black before I ballast anything in. So these screws here I got at Home Depot. I think they're like $10, but it's a whole package of 100. Yeah, 100. So I thought these would be a great option because I bought these original Gargraves screws. That ain't gonna cut it. That's just gonna get us in our foam. So that's why I went that way. So where'd you get the foam sheets from? That's a great question too. So we actually got those at Lowe's. I bought them at Lowe's, and they're extremely expensive, guys. With whatever's going on in the world, the building material prices have gone up tremendously. I don't want to get into it. Everything's expensive now, as you guys have seen, I'm sure. But man, this foam was super expensive. It was $9.90 or $9.09 a sheet. So $10 after Uncle Sam's cut, $10 a sheet. And I have 16 sheets of foam in this layout right now. So do the math. It was expensive just for foam. Why not use glue? So glue, I thought about it, guys, but it wouldn't work because up here, this layout and this room tends to move and flex. It's an older house, so I don't want anything peeling up. So I want everything to be attached, physically attached or mechanically attached to the layout itself. I did not want to use glue for this one. Model rarity is expensive. I mean, there's ways to do it on the cheap, but I definitely understand. What's up, King Julian? How's it going? Hello, hello. What else? Use zip ties. I wish I could. That's actually not a bad idea, but these screws will be fine. I'm gonna pre-drill everything with a Dremel. It'll be quick and painless. Then I'll sink the screws in the layout. Remodeling the garage next year, it's gonna cost a fortune. It'd be definitely worth it. I'd be able to have a train layout in there. It'd be so cool. It's pretty cool that someone made the adapter piece. So let's see. Woohoo, new layout. What's up, Ford enthusiast? How's it going? Um, it's as expensive as you make it. Yeah, this is pretty much the most expensive you can go. I'll be honest with you guys. It over the last three layouts I've had up here, I've kind of always said, "Hey, I'm doing this on a budget. I'm doing it on budget." Now it's kind of like, "Hey, I want to challenge myself, and I definitely want to do things that I haven't done before up here, like building a yard or using this track system, going more on the scenic before I just want to run my trains. This layout, I want to more so have fun with the scenery, do some things I've never done before. So that's pretty much why I'm going this route. So it'd be pretty cool. Are the switches pre-wired? I think they are. They have like the bus bar underneath that I'll have to solder to. Not really worried about it. Should be fine. But I believe they are pre-wired with like the bar that goes across. But that's another good question. So really quick, guys, I'm going to spin you around and see what we get here. So all these switches here, or all these sidings, from here back is a block. From here back into the shed is another block. Now I insulated them. That's what these wires are for. This is to connect the center rail to the other center rail. So there's an insulator pin right here. There's another pin right there. This keeps this hot and this not. So I'll do is put a switch in between it and also power it separately. I'm also contemplating on making this track here work off of a separate channel on the TIU so I can use that as a program track. So basically, if I want to program a new engine, like I do an upgrade or something, I don't need to power up the whole layout or energize the entire layout or take off all of my locomotives to program a PS3 locomotive. So this might be the program track here. So what I would do in that case is just run these wires to the TIU. Now there's also another set of these jumper wires inside the engine shed to complete the circuit for the center rail. But I could also, like I said, just make this one, or this would be off of a different channel. Then once you pass this insulator section, that's going to be a whole new insulated section for the TIU. So I can program trains. Also up here, I left the roof intentionally off so we can build an interior in there. And the reason why I put the interior facing out is so if someone's on this side of the railroad, they'll be able to see some more details than someone like where I'm standing. So it gives you a different perspective of the layout. Now, really quick, like I said, if you want an engine out of the shed, you have to pull the engine out, go through this switch here, and then go all the way down to the runaround track, which goes all the way to the end of the wall right there. You have to flip this switch by hand and then bring our engine back down through these switches here. And then we get to our mainline track. Now, this is our mainline, guys. This is it. Track's already installed. Got our manual switch right here. Very springy, which is great. And this, I put in like a self-bended curve. And then we're going to go up and around this way, go around our layout. We're going to build a cityscape back in this corner. Then we get up here. This is the section that I've been working on for a while now, trying to contemplate on what to do. Now, really quick, guys, let's see if I can move the computer so I can talk to you guys. You guys can still hear me for the live stream, so it doesn't sound like a million miles apart here. All right, let's see if I can do this without destroying anything. All right, so here we go. Now, this section here is going to get complicated. Move some stuff around. All right, so as you guys can see, I've got these switches here, just trying to mess around. You can see this track is already hooked up to this curve switch right here. Now, this area all depends on a model that I ordered off of eBay. Now, I ordered a coal facility, like an actual coal bank facility with a double track that goes underneath to load up coal cars. Now, this section will be added. Get you guys over here. This section will be added in here, pretty much from right here. We're going to add a 1 foot section extension going all the way across to the other side, which is why this is hanging off over here where this Western Maryland coach is. That's why it's hanging off. So that won't be like that during the finished layout. But I need to add this 1 foot extension, probably about right here. We'll drag it across the other side. Now, what I'm waiting for is the model to arrive. But what I plan on doing is having a switch somewhere in this area here, possibly off a siding. So, rock. I might put this as a Y. So, turn it on an angle like that. One goes to the main line. One goes to my coal siding. Now, that means I could have really, really long coal trains waiting at that siding, which would be really cool. So this would go out, just for example, like this. And this curve switch will service our coal facility. But I haven't figured that out quite yet. I'm trying to come up with the profiling and such for our station. Now, a lot of you guys might be upset about this. I bought a separate station for this layout. The Amtrak station I'm putting into storage. I'm going more old school with this layout. So some of you guys may not be happy about that, but it is what it is. So I picked up this station that will be weathered and detailed right here. So this is our new railroad station here. And the reason why I picked this up, because it looks really similar to the station at New Freedom, Pennsylvania, that's close by. It's one of my favorite train stations. It's a PRR style. And if you flip it around, pretty much the same thing on both sides. So you can reverse it, but this is the front facing side. And the station, guys, will be most likely in this area right here, right next to our town. So I wanted to add some profile to this layout. So it's just going to have some curves for sure. So layout's going to have some curves. We're going to have this curve coming out away from the wall. We're going to add some more scenery in here. Also, where the computer is right now. So I can reverse this real quick. Got Gargraves stuff everywhere up here. Move this track out of the way. So I'm left with like 2 switches, which is totally fine. I need to buy, I think, 1 more switch to make this layout possible as is, unless I find another switch. But I do need a right-hand switch. We'll see if I need it or not. But anyways, this track here will come off the main line. And you got this nice swooping curve right here. And that's going to go to the Y track over there. So most likely this switch that's right here on camera for you guys. But yeah, sorry guys, I'm not responding to comments quite yet. I'm sorry. I'm getting into this a lot. So let me read some comments here. Watching on the cell phone. What's up, DB Tech? Metal detecting adventures. Hey, what's up? Awesome. I'm at the station. Very sweet. Yeah, that station's awesome. New Freedom Station's sweet. Let's see what other comments we got. What's up, Dave? No mountain. This section will be flat. Okay, so about the mountain will be in the back where the dustbuster is. The reason why that's out, guys, is that I was cleaning up the old bench work and such. But this whole back section, pretty much right here, will be all mountain, pretty much. It might start at the corner of the wall. So pretty much from the corner of this wall will be all a mountain. Now the coal facility will be part of the mountain scene. So that's my idea with that. So that's why I have to wait and see where the coal station fits in and all that. I know I've got all these extra cars up here, guys. It's been crazy. I'm out of space up here, essentially. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I thought you guys would hate me for getting rid of the MTH. I upgraded it with the Amtrak station up top, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be all right. Other things on the layout, guys, we're gonna have a station with. I hope to put in a siding next to it for the dairy or milk stand that I bought. That's a K-line piece, but we're gonna have some different things on this layout for sure. Like the swooping curve in here. I love these like hand bent curbs that I'm putting in. Layout will be very different from anything you guys are seeing right now. It's all 072, and I had to pull it away from my wall. That's why I'm out of space in that aspect, but pretty much out of space on the platform. But like I said, down here, I'm going to use this switch right here, and we're going to diverge from the main, go into this switch right here for the coal facility, which is going to be really cool. I've never actually owned a switch that's part of a curve. Let's see if I can get this over. There we go. I think that's just such a beautiful switch. I still have to put the switch controller on there so you can see it free floats without it. So we'll see. Sean, yes, they do. Actually, here we go. Great question. Where is it? Here it is. This will be for my milk station. Let me take this out of here. It's called an activation track. Actually, look how new this is. April 9th of 2024. Right there. That's when this was built. So let's see. Here you go. Gargraves. That's it. That's the decoupler section activation track right there. So it comes with a little pamphlet. I'm assuming that's the wiring for this thing. I hope it's the wiring. Let's see. Terminal section, connect one outside terminal to common on your transfer. You may put a jumper to the other outside if you desire. The center terminal would connect to your positive terminal to power the center rail. Sweet. Okay. So there you go. Accessory control section isolate the rail furthest from the terminals by leaving out the track pins, leaving a gap between the section of rail, or install 2 number 800 insulator pins. Yeah, I can do that. So it comes with the instructions right there, which is really nice. I'll make sure to keep that with this. But look how clean this looks. I mean, there it is right there. Activation track. So that's what they said it does. I believe them, I guess. We'll have to see how it works. It's exactly, it says Gargraves Terminal Accessory Control Section. Unless it's just a terminal track. It could just be a terminal track. So we'll see. If not, I'll just add a electromagnet or such under there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm starting to think this is just a terminal track. The person mislabeled it on the internet. So it is what it is. Is it magnetic? I don't think so. I think this is just a terminal track. Yeah, so you can use it as a terminal section, I guess. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. We'll see what happens with that. So oh, it's starting to storm outside. Hear the rain hitting the windows. But anyways, guys, so I haven't really worked on the left portion of the railroad. Been waiting on some things, and the K-line needs a magnet. So yeah, I could put a magnet under here, or just put it in the track. It'll be cool. We'll do that. But for a terminal track, I mean, it looks pretty clean. Glenn, thank you so much. That's an activation piece, not magnetic. Okay. That is good to know. So I've got a terminal track. I'll just hold on to it. I'll be fine. Sweet. So the left side of the layout I haven't really worked on. Like I said, I want this nice swooping curve in here. It's going to be a mountain portal or tunnel portal right here. And this outer rail has an insulator pin. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this pin is for our signaling that we're going to have on our layout here. Now, what I did was that I threw this over here. It's really hard to see, guys. It's a little nylon pin on the outer rail. So these insulator pins on the outside track are going to be for signals. Now, where is the signal I plan on using? So we're going to be using MTH signals with a power board and a relay with the old MTH style signals that they made. So I plan on doing is hooking up one signal here facing, I guess, where are we facing? Right in front of me is east. We'll have an east, so that would be a south facing signal. So that'll be on this side of the track facing this way. So our signal is going to be right about here, right before the tunnel porthole, to add some animation. And then on the other side of the loop, all the way over here, where that track is and the that coach is at, that will also be the other signal. And that will be our, I guess, east-facing signal. So those signals will be connected to the same relay pair. So when one is clear, they'll both be clear. Then once it turns into the block, it'll turn into a stop signal. I know it's kind of primitive. I know I could do like different signaling or use different types of blocks and such, but both will say clear at the same time. It'll look perfectly fine. It's just enough space. Once the train clears this block, it will have enough time to cycle back to approach, then clear. It's just to add some animation to the layout. I'm also going to do the same thing over on this side of the layout. And like I said, our station will be in this area somewhere. So here's the window on the other side, and track will come through here and make a left turn. I know it's a huge mess, and I do apologize for that. But the track will loop around and go around back to the yard track, which is right there next to the swooping curve. So that's the layout in a nutshell, guys. I plan on finishing the track this week for sure. I've got tons of work to do with powering the track. Like I said, I'm using these terminal pins right here. Just a track pin with a wire soldered to it. You put those where it needs to be. I need to check up on all of them. And I'm hoping by next Monday to have trains running up here. Knock on wood. I plan on running trains next Monday. And you guys are going to freak out. I bought two of my favorite style locomotives ever this weekend at Star Hobby down in Annapolis. If you guys want to write in comments what you think they are, they're both diesels, but I couldn't believe I found a whole set of these, and it was awesome. Then also bought a smaller diesel, which I've been looking for a long time. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, please write them about the track plan, any ideas, so we can talk about it for sure. I do appreciate you guys dealing with me ranting about the new layout, and I'm sorry if you guys are upset about any changes. I don't want to let you guys down. I did say I would build an upper loop, also a passing siding for the station. At this time, it's just not feasible with the amount of space that I have. I do apologize for that. So terminal wires are a great idea. Yeah, these are Gargraves already. So there's different colors. You can get black or white. They also have red. So you can color code all your stuff. So that's what I plan on doing this week. It's your layout. That's a good one. Can't wait to see. Thank you guys so much. Wiring my track is my least favorite. Oh man. Yeah, wiring isn't like, It's not fun. It's kind of exciting. You know what I mean? It's like you're at that next stage to get through. But I'm gonna have more fun doing the scenery on this. Once the track is down, it's game on. It's gonna be all fully ballasted and everything. So let's see. Do you find the bases of MTH buildings too high? Here, I'm gonna get you guys over to my desk. I don't think they're too high. I just think you can bury them, which is also why I did this 1 inch foam, because there's certain accessories, even from Lionel, that have like this huge like plastic base to them, and I could sink that down and make it look so much better. So, like my water tower that you guys like, the bubble water tower. Here, let me get this camera situated. Oh, sorry, fellas. All right. Than usual. I do apologize, but there we go. So a couple things. This inch foam base you can do a lot with. You can put like culverts under your track or do like little swales and stuff. I plan on making some of those like little streams and such in here. Maybe like some ditches, because a lot of railroads have ditches on both sides of the track, and they use that for drainage. So back in the old days, steam engines produce a lot of water waste, dumping water, and these trenches would form on the sides of the track. It also gets water away from the wood ties. So a lot of railroads did have a small ditch next to the rails. So we'll see. It's all stainless steel track, I believe. Magnet. This should be magnetic, or it should be ferromagnetic, or whatever you call it. Ferrous. I don't have a magnet up here, but I think it is. It's ferrous tracker. I think it should be. What's up, Garrett? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Got some other comments in here. Can't wait to see. Thank you so much. Best, yeah. So the wiring for this layout will be using. Oh, someone just wrote. Yeah, Sean wrote. It's magnetic. Okay, so that works. So the wiring for this layout, the wire bundle is where? Where are you? It's on my floor. I'm using a wire I bought from Depot. It was suggested by one of my friends that built to layout. Troy at Iron Horse Trains used. It's called low voltage patio or outdoor wiring. It's like 16 gauge wire. So I'll be using that to power my track. And because I'm using MTH, I got to use the spider system, as they call it. So basically, you have one terminal and you send out leads from the terminal, which would be fine. I'll just wire a lot of stuff together with one terminal. So what I plan on doing is like my old layout, I sent one terminal out to north, south, east, and west, which is enough. And then I'll have separate terminals for my yard tracks or sidings. Then each little siding will have its own little control switch with a track map, which I plan on doing like the fiber, or not fiberglass, but the what do you call it? The plexiglass, painted plexiglass with the lines to show you what track or what. And I haven't debated yet using relays to turn on and off the track, so I can use different light colors or indicators, or just going old school, just put a switch. But it's helpful to see when tracks are hot and when they're not. So I thought it'd be helpful to have maybe like a green light or a red light show up when the track's on or off. For this siding here, the coal dock, definitely I'll block those tracks out. But the mainline switch coming off to that, it may not be blocked. So I might just leave that open, because you normally wouldn't, keep engines on a siding like that. But the coal section, yeah, I might block it. I might not. I might just leave it open. We'll have to see. Let's see how it goes. But I do plan on doing some more industry stuff over in this side than before. Then the whole cityscape should be back in this area here. We will have a farm. I agreed. I told Nikki, I said we need to have a farm with a house on it that looks really nice. So we'll put that over here. So it'll all come together. I promise, guys. It's gonna be pretty cool. But there are some models that, as of right now, I may not use on the new layout, like this shed right here, or this station right here will not be used on the new layout, unfortunately. some of these buildings I may swap out for Woodland Scenics buildings to go all out just to have fun with this one. So if any of you guys have questions, please let me know. It's going to be one heck of a layout, and I'm not going to stay on here too long because I'm not running trains tonight. But I do apologize for not having trains tonight running, but we will have something soon. I promise. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this layout. It should be a lot of fun getting this thing up and running. Stuff tastes so good. Um, yeah, keep on hearing that creaking in the corner there. Use MTH size a little smaller than MTH stuff. I believe is it's pretty darn close. I hate selling stuff like in the hobby, like unless it's like locomotives or cars. I really hate selling buildings and such. I usually give them away to people. Um, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. I might put a lot of these in storage because I love this station. It's one of my favorite pieces, but this layout just does not fit it. I need a larger layout to fit that on there for sure. Going more for like a country style layout with like lots of scenery and trees and such. It's gonna look great, but we'll see. Williams Grove starts this Saturday. Oh God, this layout's never getting done. So yeah, I might be out there, guys. I want to go out there and see their steam engine. They have one of the well, actually, the only operating Pennsylvania Railroad steam engine ever in existence right now until 1361 gets fixed at Williams Grove. So I might go out there and check that out for sure. We'll see. Just being here is all good. Hey, thank you so much. Doing a farm in the background, use Plasticville. So I already have one of the farms, and I think it's a farm and a barn on order. I'm going to put that in this section to my right. This will be all the farm section. 4x8 layout, very nice. Doing a lot, a small space. That's exactly how this layout is. I'm left. This is a essentially 8x12. It's an 8x12 layout. I've got a little bit more room on the wings, but the problem is the ceiling, is an angle, so you lose about 4 inches on each side. So it's really like an 8x12. It's really 8 by what 13 and a quarter, but it's like whatever. Hey, Radar, have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping in. But yep, doing a lot in a small space up here too. I've always wanted to build a yard area or engine facility. It's gonna look really cool. I promise, guys. It's gonna look great. And then I'm gonna have to go crazy on the models because there's some models that I would love on this layout that I don't own. I don't own a water tower. I don't own a farmhouse. Um, I want to find a dairy, like a dairy building for that siding. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot going on. Like I said, in a small space. So we'll see how it goes. I do need to find. I think I need to find one more switch on the internet before I start going crazy with this because I have the initial turn off switch for the siding, or I can use. Actually, no, it should be good. Yeah, yeah, we'll be good. I think we're good because I have this right hand switch that's really abrupt, which would be perfect for siding. But then I also have the Y switch. The Y switch, which is behind me here, is going to look great for that coal siding. But the other right-handed switch would be great for the milk. Maybe put that warehouse back. We'll see. But in that case, I would put the warehouse up front, run the main line behind it. I would love to put this back and then run the main line in front of it. But we all can't get what we want sometimes. So I'll have to see where things lie up here. But it'd be cool to have like this next to the milk station, like I did on like my first layout ever. I had this building that's to my right that I painted and everything next to the milk station. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes. I think, let's see, got that switch. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we're good. Hit me up at Williams Grove for sure. Yeah, definitely. Williams Grove is near Harrisburg. That's the best way I can put it. It's in Williams Grove, but it's like really really close to Harrisburg on the south side of the river, not the Harrisburg side. But it's really nice. It's a beautiful property. There's tons of steam engines. I mean, tons. If it's the show, I think it is. It's the big steam show that I went to last year. I had a ball, guys. There's so many steam locomotives there. I'll roll with you. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Let me know. I just got to get there very, very, very early. Monte Carlo sounds like a casino. There you go. Just outside of Mechanicsburg. There you go. A pond. So, so I'll tell you guys. Yeah, we'll see. That would be great. I would love to put a water feature, excuse me, back on our layout. But the oh God, how many years ago is that now? 3 years ago, I had a pond. I called it the or $200 pond or $150 pond. The pond kept on failing. The first pond, I poured the mix in, went right through the foam, down through the tooling of the layout and the bench work of the layout, found the floor. So I ended up peeling up the acrylic right off the floor, and it was a mess. Then the second pond I put in, okay, it just had issues like drying. So I should have used like a hair dryer or a paint dryer and like woke it back up and got rid of the bubbles. That's the biggest thing with water features, guys. You have to de-air everything. Like I've seen guys on YouTube like leave the woodland container out or microwave it so it gets a little warm to get all the bubbles out or something. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that, but you have to make sure all the bubbles are out of the woodland scenics. Don't shake it. Like it might say like shake on the bottle. Be careful shaking the stuff because it gets these little micro bubbles in it that you can't get them out once you pour it. It just pours with the bubbles and it just makes a mess. But a pond would look great. Maybe in this corner right here. I thought about doing like a culvert bridge, possibly in this section over here with a small water feature. That would be kind of cool too. With the inch foam, I could definitely do a water feature with a small bridge. That'd be really, really cool, like a stream. We'll see what we can do. Um, a waterfall. I'm not that gifted in the in the scenic arts here. I don't know if I can do a waterfall, but we might be able to do a pond or a stream on this section here. So we'll see. Do some like acid mine wash in the stream. I don't know. You'll have to train layout stop by and say hello. Yep, we'll do. Yeah, I just got to make sure I get all my filming gear because that's one heck of an event. I filmed that last year. I probably walked about maybe 4 or 5 miles on the property just chasing traction engines. Which guys, a traction engine is like it's a steam engine on tractive wheels or traction wheels. It's not like a steam locomotive. It's like a steam tractor or a farming piece. So you have to make sure you say, you know, traction engine. If you don't say that at these shows, you get pummeled. So I learned my lesson for sure. I have the Kawasaki Mule. Oh, sweet. You drive me around the property, please. That'd be awesome. But guys, I'm gonna call the stream. I'm gonna try to work on some of this track while I'm up here. It's a little toasty up here too, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this explanation of the layout, where I've been, and everything. I was on vacation this past weekend, so I do apologize. I did not post anything this weekend. I'm hoping once this track is done this week, I will post a video of the progress and my thought processes behind it, what's going on, and everything. And like I said, I'm waiting for that larger model to arrive. Let me see if I can find a picture of it really quick. This model was built by an eBay company. It's the best way I can explain it. And this is the model right there. So you guys can see that on the screen real quick. That is the coal facility. And you can see how it has the loading tracks underneath the main building there. So these models are so large. Apparently, it's laser printed, like with a laser printer with balsa wood. So I have to make sure that piece can fit in this corner, and it's going to marry up to the mountain that I'm putting in before I go too crazy with the siding and figure out where things got to go. But I could work on the outer loop. I'll work on that tonight before heading out. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a great week. And I know it's a shorter stream. We only were on here for what, an hour and 7 minutes, so to say. But anyways, guys, I really did enjoy explaining this layout to you all. I know it's a little complicated and crazy, but that's everyone's layout. Everyone has a good. Uh, and it sounds like I'm going to Williams Grove this weekend, so look out for that video. It's be a great video out there. So until next time, everyone, happy railroading. Have a great week. Stay strong. We'll see you next time. Stay off this track if you're rail fanning, and have a great time. See you guys next time. See you guys.